Happy Friday, everybody. Joe Bartosik, happy Friday to you, my
Dave,
friend.
Allgood, great to see you.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here, and glad you guys are here as well. And Joe's got some, he's got some...
interesting weather.
Some weather news, but we don't want to bring you
No.
down quite yet, but we do have some great stories for you as well coming up. And Joe, one of those stories?
It's about Macklemore.
Get
You know the
out.
rapper? Yeah.
I
that
like him
great-
a lot. I
yeah,
actually do like him.
You know, the thrift store popping tech.
I got
Thrift
$20
store
in my
singer.
pocket.
Yeah. Sits down with another star from Seattle, Nate Burleson.
Yep, football player. And celebrating movement, a last dance for an instructor, a preview of tonight's dance concert at the Anchorage Museum. And you don't want to miss that Allgood News Story. It's a good one. But you're dressed in black because it's a
Good Friday.
It's a Good Friday. That's right.
Good Friday,
It is
yes.
Good Friday.
It's Good Friday.
And also, you have some interesting news that might not bring a smile to a lot of people if they're planning
especially
some...
not for the holiday weekend when everybody's hoping to be out, especially Sunday services on Easter Sunday. Not looking to be the greatest, might be more like Christmas in terms of the weather. But hey, let's go focus on the good stuff, Dave, first,
Okay.
right? It's beautiful
Sounds good.
outside, right? Take a look at that sky. I absolutely love it. Blue skies, a little bit of some...
All right, thanks a lot, Joe. Here are your top 4 headlines at 4. In Rome today, Pope Francis took part in Good Friday services at the Vatican, a holy day for Christians marking the death of Christ. The Pope arrived in a wheelchair but stood for part of the ceremony. He's been recovering after being hospitalized for bronchitis due to the cold weather. However, he will not go to the Colosseum for the traditional Good Friday Way of the Cross procession. A Palmer Colony High School student, well, he's in custody today after threatening social media posts were seen of the student with a gun. Alaskan state troopers say there's no evidence that the student brought a gun to school, but charges against the juvenile were referred to the Division of Juvenile Justice. Troopers say they take all threats against Alaska schools and students seriously. In Anchorage today, the Assembly voted to cut sister city relations with Magadan, Russia. They unanimously passed a resolution calling for the mayor to cover or remove any municipal symbols representing the relationship. The measure stems from recent reports of Ukrainian children forced into a re-education camp in the Magadan region. Assemblymember Volin issued a statement that read in part, "The decision is not a reflection of the people of Magadan, but a decision based on the actions of their government and military actions that do not align with our shared values." Well, a unique visitor showed up at Providence Hospital in Anchorage yesterday. Check that out. Staff at the medical center says the moose must have seen the potted plants in the lobby and walked in for a snack. The moose appeared to be about a yearling. It sampled the wares before the surprised people around encouraged it to leave. Security officers protected themselves with furniture while guiding the calf out. The Department of Fish and Game warns that human-moose encounters can be very dangerous. We know that, and it's best to keep your distance. How about that? All right, from a poignant to poppy. Once his music gets in your head, it stays there. Nate Burleson sits down with singer Macklemore, who talks about his own truths, fatherhood, fame, and placing credit where it's due.
Work TV.
Happy Friday, everybody. It's not a career without controversy, and it all comes out in his music. From those catchy songs that won't leave your head to ballads addressing tough issues, Nate Burleson has a heart-to-heart with Ben Haggerty, who you might know as Macklemore.
You're watching Alaska's Weather Source.
And welcome back, everybody. Happy Friday. This is a time where I normally say something funny. We talk about lunch or dinner, but I think we have kind of a pretty serious weather weekend coming our way, so I'm just going to toss it right over to Joe and let him take care of it.
I'm sorry, Dave. I really wish
That's
I had
okay.
better
No,
news here for you.
Mother Nature.
But I know, it is Mother Nature. It's on Mother Nature's time frame, not ours. I know as we switch the calendar into April, we all start looking forward to the heart of the Easter holiday weekend. So take it safe. We, of course, will be here to update you all throughout the weekend.
All right, thanks a lot, Joe. Training the next generation of forecasters this week on Weather Lab, Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry visits Northern Lights ABC School and looks at the various types of clouds. All right, Joe, typically in 3rd grade, students are learning about math, writing, and social studies, things I need to bone up on.
But the students at Northern Lights ABC School are learning how to be meteorologists.
Blockbuster hits looking at the incredible career of Michael J. Fox. The actor tells his own story in a new documentary.
And another incredible Anchorage career in dance. Jill Flanders Crosby is retiring after almost 45 years at the University of Alaska Anchorage Dance Department. That's coming up in the Allgood News.
Well, if you can find them, right? This is a popular time this year for eggs. You know why? Because, well, this weekend, many families will be cleaning up egg dye from their countertops. On today's Moment of Science, Dan Smith celebrates the incredible edible egg.
I'm Dan Smith.
Well, I like eggs. Joe, do you like eggs? He's in the Weather Center. It's that time of the year, by the way.
It is that time of the year, and of course, who doesn't like a good egg? I like mine either scrambled or over easy.
Joe, you're a good egg, by the way.
Let's take a look at your forecast across South Central, unfortunately, for the Easter weekend holiday coming up in just a few more minutes, Dave.
All right, Joe, thanks. Great information. And by the way, why did the chicken fail its test?
I don't know, Dave. Why?
Well, it did not study for its exam.
Oh, ba-dum-bum. Ching. Good job.
Easter jokes. All right. It's an incredible career coming to an end. Jill Flanders Crosby is retiring as the University of Alaska Anchorage does away with the Department of Theater and Dance, a bittersweet retrospective of body, mind, and motion. The University of Alaska Anchorage is shutting down its Department of Theater and Dance, which is sad news for a lot of folks. And the professor who's been a driving force in dance since the late 70s, Jill Flanders Crosby, she's retiring.
And tonight is her last performance at the Anchorage Museum. In today's Allgood News, Dave went to Jill's last emotional dress rehearsal last night with her former students and colleagues.
We are moments of our emotions, and we embody the music that moves us. We are our feet, and we are our minds extending to the sky. We are symbiotic to the sounds that surround us. And we are finite.
Oh, it's bittersweet, but there's always a time when it's time to move on.
In the tapping and ticking of time,
You do something for a while and then you let go and do something else.
Jill Flanders Crosby has given her mind and body.
And you find a new place and a new grace and a new way to be in the world.
For almost 45 years, Jill Flanders Crosby has been doing and teaching this at the University of Alaska Anchorage.
Our jazz classes were about working with jazz music and knowing what it means to dance jazz.
Swaying and expanding the way students think and feel about the world around them.
More than anything in the world, it's an amazing, amazing gift.
She shares the gift of what she knows and her passion.
If you're lucky enough, you get transported in performance.
Former colleagues and students have united for one last dance together.
And it's such an honor for me to be able to dance with Jill and Catherine. I mean, they're my mentors.
She is the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing today. And
Because April 7th, 2023 will be Jill's last performance.
I'll never let go of dance, but I'll let go of the performance. And I'm okay with that.
The last rehearsal before the sun sets on another turn of the earth.
To me, it's a tremendous reunion to celebrate all that Jill and the UAA dance program has been able to gift to the community and to the world of dance.
The universe serving up its fluidity of irony, the dance program Jill gave her life to, is ending.
I'm sad about that. I think I would feel better if I was walking away and the program was continuing rather than being discontinued. But it's out of my hands.
As Jill says goodbye,
Oh, she's retiring, but it's the beginning of her next chapter.
what's left is molecules in perpetual motion, letting the dance do what it will.
Released.
And that's the Allgood News. Yeah, what a lady. What a career.
Yeah.
What a
Amazing.
career.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good for
happy
her.
and sad at the same time.
I heard you said it was very emotional there for sure.
Yeah. And by the way, I've never been to the Anchorage Museum. It's beautiful. Jill and her former students and collaborators and guest artists will be performing their dance in concert retrospective starting tonight at 6:15 at the Anchorage Museum.
And it's totally free to the public. Lots of amazing dance and live jazz music throughout the museum. The event runs until 9 p.m. tonight.
All right, thanks, Joe. Here's Jerica Duncan with what's coming up at 5 here on CBS 5.
On this Friday night, checkmate. We go on the road to meet one chess coach who
Of next week, We don't even hit normal potentially until Thursday.
Just when we thought it was over.
I know. So Mother Nature, she rules the roost. So.
And we all usually have a phrase for the day. Yours is squeeze play.
All right, there we go.
All right. Getting in a ring with an unseen foe? What? Parkinson's patients talk about the benefits of boxing training. That's up next. All right, Joe, a lucky dog gets a new home and a new name.
Okay, and in case you missed it, a moose wanders into a house. Here's Patrick Cornell with today's Take a Look at This.
Watch this incredibly close call with a lowland copperhead in Australia. Watch again, caught on camera the exact second the snake strikes after a homeowner stepped on it. The snake hunter posted the video to Facebook, calling it a moment between life and death. Lowland copperheads carry a neurotoxic venom, which is highly dangerous to humans. Thankfully, the snake didn't bite the homeowner, who was unharmed and able to call for help. The snake hunter captured the snake a few minutes later. How about another unwanted house guest? This one much larger. Barbara Nichols got a big ol' surprise when a moose made its way into her home.
I think I stared at it for 3 or 4 seconds before it really dawned on me, yes, he's in the house.
How did it happen, you ask? The massive mammal followed the family dog inside through an open door.
I stood up, took about 2 steps, and realized there was a huge moose in my house that had just followed Jesse in.
And the moose made itself at home, munching on plants, not a care in the world, until officers showed up and used the sound from a taser to convince the creature to maneuver back outside, where it soon began searching for more snacks. And finally, this happy dog has been welcomed into a forever home. Lucky the Labrador was discovered trapped on train tracks, his leash nailed down. Luckily for Lucky, a San Antonio Animal Services officer found and rescued him shortly before an oncoming train came through. After sharing the sad story on Facebook, it didn't take long for someone to swoop in and snatch up Lucky, who is now enjoying a new life and a new name, Duke. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Well, I don't want to say anything about that last story, but thank goodness somebody found him. And
Yes.
because I try to find the positive in everything.
Of course.
And that was the positive end of that one.
But positive. Right. And of course, in case you missed it, wink, 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 Dave made a little.
Yeah, our story made it into the national Take a Look at This. So that was kind of cool as well. The
Good job, Dave.
story. Well, I didn't have anything to do. Thank you, though.
All right, we've got snow on the way, unfortunately, for Easter weekend. That snow developing during the day tomorrow, intensifying through the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday. And then by the time Sunday comes to a close, 6 to 10 inches in the Anchorage area.
That is crazy. All right, thank you, Joe. Guys, have a great weekend.